Hello children, welcome to your English literature class. So as you can see, today we are going to recapitulate the play The Caucus Race. We have already done this play in your online classes, isn't it? So we will quickly summarize the play and move ahead with the exercises. As the name suggests, the caucus race, you all should be knowing by now. A caucus race is a race in which all the contestants are winners. There is not one particular winner. Anyone, all the participants of the race are winners. Now, this play is about a very strange race from the story Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Most of you must have read this book. It's the story of a girl. She goes to Wonderland and all the adventures done by her. So, Caucus Race is a part of this story. Okay. And this book was written by Lewis Carroll. Lewis Carroll is a very famous writer. He's an English mathematician also. And Alice's Adventures in Wonderland is one of his most famous books. This play consists of various characters, the main character being Alice. Then you have Lori, Dodo, Mouse, Canary, and a lizard. All these animals are there as the participants of the race. So we'll just proceed with the story. You can see a rabbit hole. So as you have read already, Alice was sitting beside the riverbank. She was sitting on the riverbank. She was bored and tired, and she sees a white rabbit with pink eyes running close by, and he was saying, "I'm getting late." So it was very funny for Alice, to see a rabbit running and talking to himself. So she went after the rabbit, and as she keeps running after the rabbit, she also falls down, down, down the hole. Now, as she falls down, she sees a beautiful garden with colorful flowers, and there is a door. Now, she doesn't know how to enter the door because it was very small for her to enter. Over there, she sees a little bottle with the label "Drink Me." She reads the label carefully. It's not written poison anywhere. She finally drinks the liquid and realizes that her size gradually becomes smaller. She becomes the right size to enter the door. But what happens next? As she becomes smaller, she realizes the key of the door was left on the table itself. And now she doesn't know how to reach the table. Now what to do? She doesn't lose heart. She does not lose hope. She she thinks, I will definitely do it. I have to do it some way or the other. Then she sees a cake is kept there. It was a lovely cake and it was written "Eat me." So she just ate the cake. She kept on eating the cake and started growing tall and tall, and she grew so tall that she touched the roof. Now, so tall she cannot bend. What to do? Next, she starts crying. Now, as she is crying and crying, there is a big pool formed there. Okay, gallons of tears, they make a large pool over there, and there come all the strange animals, and they are all drowned in that water, and they are totally wet, completely drenched. They swim out. You can see the pool in the picture. They swim out to reach the bank. Now, as they are already wet, they all become very uncomfortable. And Alice also feels, oh God, I should not have cried so much. No, I have drowned in my own tears. Now, what to do? They all want to dry themselves. They are all coming up with various ideas what to do. And then the mouse suggests that he would tell a story. And Alice does not want to listen to the story. In the meanwhile, Dodo comes up with a brilliant idea. He suggests they should run a caucus race which would dry them out. Now, what is a caucus race? Nobody knows what is a caucus race. So, it is a group of people. They said there are no rules. Because Lori asks, where is the starting line? And Dodo says, there is no starting line. You can start from anywhere. That means they can run. The lizard wants to know which way to run. Dodo says you can stand anywhere, face any direction, run anytime. Just keep running and enjoy. Why? Because the purpose for running is to get dry. Now they keep running and running, and some of them, the lizard is the first one to get tired and out of breath, very tired, cannot run anymore. So when to stop? So he said, all of you know you can stop. And the mouse asks, who won? Then Dodo gives the answer, we all won. And the mouse asks, how is it possible all of us cannot be winners? No, there has to be one winner. And Dodo is very happy, and he's very smugly, no, and he's very satisfied, and he says, why did we run the race? There was no trophy, no. They all ran the race to get dry, and all of them are dry. That means all of them are winners. And finally, they all get candies as a award, as a prize for the race. Okay. So we will now move ahead for the exercises. Idioms. Very recently, no, you must have done idioms in your English 1 classes. Idiom is a group of words with a meaning different from the meanings of the individual words. Idiom does not have a literal meaning. You don't follow it by letters. No, you say apple of the eye. That doesn't mean you have an apple in your eye. It is a figurative word, okay? Figurative speech. Idioms are called to be figurative speech. And in this chapter, all the idioms, if you open your books on page 96, you will find there are examples given, 6 idioms, and all these idioms are related to body parts. They are also known as body idioms. You have this exercise on page number 97. Match the columns to complete the sentences in the table given below. You can see the table. Visiting the village hit by the storm was an eye-opener for me. Okay. An eye-opener means it makes you realize, no, you understand things in a better way. When the person goes to the village, it is hit by the storm, then he realizes, no, how much pain is there in the world. Don't go away. Stay close at hand because I need your help. Okay. Close at hand means stay nearby. I enjoy visiting Sheila because her parents always greet me with open arms. Somebody is greeting you with open arms means welcoming you heartily, welcoming you very happily. Look after these books and use them carefully. I had to pay through the nose to buy them for you. That means the books were really expensive. That person has to pay a lot of money to get these books. Number E, the race was exciting because Ronit and Reena were running neck and neck to the finishing line. Neck and neck means all of you must have seen, no, watched races in your school also. You see sometimes two people are running very close by. So it is a very interesting race. No, you get excited who is going to win. So both of them are at the same pace. Number F, I eat so many chocolates. I certainly have a sweet tooth. So any person who is very fond of eating sweets is told to be having a sweet tooth. You have a sweet tooth means you have a liking for sweets. Okay. Now on page 98 and 99 you have the degrees of comparison. Adjectives, degrees of comparison. Adjectives are words which describe a noun. We all know nouns are naming words. Suppose I say a beautiful flower. So flower is the noun and beautiful is the adjective. I am describing the flower. Okay, I say a pretty girl. So girl is the noun and pretty is the adjective. It is describing. Fine. So we will be doing the degrees of comparison. Now you can just see the example. Weak, weaker than the weakest. Okay. So maybe you can say he is a weak boy or Tim is a weak boy. Rahul is weaker than Tim. And maybe you have a John in your class. He is the weakest. Okay, so John is the weakest. So positive, comparative and superlative. With the comparative degree, we use than. So positive is when you are talking about one person. Comparative, you are comparing between two people. And superlative is the person or object you are talking about among the whole group. One among the whole group. Like, he is a good boy, but this girl is better than the boy. And maybe you have one team leader, he is the best in the class. Okay, so weak, weaker than the weakest, great, greater than the greatest, and cold, colder than the coldest. Come to the next one, happy, happier than. Whenever you have an adjective ending with y, you add IER for the comparative degree. Okay, happier than, the happiest, busy, busier than, the busiest, silly, sillier than, the silliest. Suppose I say Mr. Rao is a busy person. And if I'm talking about two people, suppose Mr. Rao and Mr. Chopra. Mr. Chopra is busier than Mr. Rao. Okay. And then Mr. Das is the busiest person in our colony. One person among all. Okay. Next one. Thin, thinner than, the thinnest. Big, bigger will become double G. And biggest also has double G-E-S-T. So bigger than, the biggest. Hot, hotter than, the hottest. The words with more than two syllables. Helpful, the bigger words we write more helpful than, the most helpful. Important, it's a big word, no? So we write, it is not importanter or something. It is more important than, the most important. Similarly, interesting, more interesting than, and the most interesting. Okay. So that is all for today. All of you stay safe, take care, and prepare very well for your exams. All the best till we meet again. So a big God bless and take very good care of yourself.